This is Joey Swanger coming back at you with another marvelous video. We are all aware of Wolverine's quick regenerative healing factor, which not only healed his fatal wounds, but also inhibited the process of regular aging as faced by everyone. During his long life, Logan had several romantic relationships with women. Unknown to him, these women gave birth to several offspring, who all were later assembled to form the Mongrels, and they certainly made Logan's life a living hell. Despite being consolidated for the sole purpose of exacting revenge on Wolverine, the Mongrels had a tragic end, and in today's video, we will be exploring the same. So without any further delay, let us begin exploring the tragic story of the Mongrels. Before we go into our explanation, we have a very small request. If you like our content, please support us by subscribing to our channel. This is a small click for you, but for us, it means a lot. Thank you. Let's begin. Tragic origin of the Mongrels. The children of Wolverine were searched for and assembled by another child of Logan named Daken. Daken was conceived by Wolverine's Japanese wife, Itsu, and later, after her death, he was taken in by Romulus, who fueled his hatred for his father Logan. Over the years, Daken assembled all the different children of Logan and gave them to an evil organization known as the Red Right Hand, who trained them only to be used as weapons against Wolverine. They were named the Mongrels. However, the organization was completely aware that these new recruits stood no chance against Wolverine. With him being unaware of these children, we can only imagine what could be a result of the fight. The Mongrels were first introduced in Wolverine Volume 4, Issue 1, which was published in 2010. Written by Jason Aaron, the comic series revolved around Wolverine, with the Mongrels and the Red Right Hand appearing on different issues. The Mongrels, introduced as a team of ruthless mercenaries. Focusing on Issue 1, we see Wolverine and John Wraith, who had become a pastor of the First Kestrel Baptist Church, discussing their lives' true meaning and motives. 3 weeks later, a man carrying a dead girl appeared before John Wraith in his church. John was expecting mercenaries associated with the Weapon X program to come after him, but the wounds on the lady appear to have been made by Wolverine. Pastor Wraith immediately initiated the security protocol of the church, sealing it from the outside and preventing anyone from leaving. He left the church with his gun and encountered Wolverine in the nearby woods. However, he soon realized that Logan was not involved in the events and his body had been possessed by a demon. The demon-possessed version of Wolverine was later named Wolverine. John tried stopping him, but Wolverine stabbed him and set the church on fire. Meanwhile, at the office of the San Francisco Post, we get to see Melita Garner, who was then the love interest of Wolverine, working on an article. Suddenly, a group of mercenaries entered and began ransacking the office in search of Melita. These mercenaries were none other than the Mongrels, and they soon found Melita hiding in her cubicle. Fortunately for Melita, Logan had previously given her a Skrull sonic disruptor for self-defense, which she fired at the Mongrels and made a run for her life. Before the Mongrels could get a hold of her, Mystique arrived out of nowhere and rescued her. One of the mercenaries, Gunhawk, could be seen reporting the events to their superior, the Red Right Hand, stating that Mystique had betrayed them. The scene shifts to dark and a desolate place with corpses lying, and Wolverine can be seen being brought before Satan. Wolverine was sent to hell, but how or what events led to this were still unknown. Satan had plans for Logan. He desperately wanted to hear Wolverine scream in pain and agony. All these years, Wolverine had taken down innumerable opponents, including Sabretooth, Omega Red, and various soldiers of nefarious organizations. And Satan brings their cursed souls to attack Wolverine. In hell, Logan's healing abilities were not as quick as normal. His adamantium coating was absent, but even without them, he took every single opponent down. Finally, Satan made Mariko Yoshida appear, who then whacked Wolverine with a lash several times, finally making Wolverine scream. Elsewhere, the demon-possessed Wolverine killed Yukio, one of the last resorts for help, leaving Melita solely at the mercy of Mystique, who had summoned the two Ghost Riders, Johnny Blaze and Danny Ketch, for help. The true purpose of the Red Right Hand. The Red Right Hand was founded by a person who had earlier been a victim of Wolverine's rage. Although the name of the man was not revealed, he was stated to be a child of a wealthy man who had once owned nearly every coal mine in Kentucky. Things were smooth until, one day, the workers of the mine revolted against this man. While the owner hired men to force against the revolt, the protesters responded by sending Wolverine. The man had been forced to negotiate according to the terms and conditions of the workers, but he did not take it easy. While being drunk and in a fit of rage, the man killed the union leader, and Wolverine responded by killing the man. The only mistake was to leave his child alive. This child grew up and founded the Red Right Hand, an association of people bearing deep hatred for Wolverine. The members were family members of the ones Wolverine had either killed accidentally during fights or intentionally. He spent years finding such victims and recruiting them, but it was evident that even with their combined forces, they would not be able to stand against Wolverine. Therefore, they planned on making Wolverine's life a living hell. With the help of Mystique, they lured Wolverine into a truck and managed to send his soul to hell. Following this, a demon possessed his body and went on to kill his dear ones and friends. However, this was not the end, as the organization's plans with the Mongrels were way beyond Wolverine's imagination, and it was orchestrated with one intention, and that was to inflict lifelong damage on him. Logan's revenge. While being crucified in hell, Puck and a mysterious woman advised Logan not to give up and not to break down before Satan. The demons in hell were all looking for opportunities to wage war against each other to become the realm's ruler and wield the Soul Cutter, a magical sword that belongs to the one true ruler of hell. Standing up against Satan would eventually prove him weak among other demons. Wolverine acted accordingly, freed himself, and began slaying demons. Soon, Satan arrived and threatened Logan to tear his flesh off and cut him into pieces. But all that did not affect Wolverine, and he attacked the demon with all his might. Meanwhile, Puck initiated the revolt, and all the demons began attacking the devil. Soon, the devil lost the Soul Cutter and revealed himself as the Great Red Dragon. While pure chaos raged in hell, Logan met the mysterious man who was none other than his father, Thomas Logan. However, Logan walked away from his father and fought Sabretooth, wielding the Soul Cutter. Logan decapitated Sabretooth with the Soul Cutter and dropped the sword into the swarm of demons. Meanwhile, at Utopia, Wolverine started attacking the X-Men, namely Shadowcat, Colossus, Archangel, and Iceman. He stabbed Colossus and was about to take his life when Ghost Rider and Mystique captured him by attaching a hook to his body and Ghost Rider's bike. While Ghost Rider dragged Wolverine away from the mansion, the demonized Wolverine resisted and toppled their bike. He stabbed Mystique and decapitated Ghost Rider. However, it was far from over, as the other Ghost Rider dragged Wolverine into the Grace Cathedral Church, where Damian Hellstrom began performing his ritual to free Wolverine's body from the demons. The ritual calmed him down, but it was not yet over. Wolverine made for a runaway from the church and encountered Cyclops, Magneto, Emma Frost, and Namor McKenzie. Although Cyclops and the rest had been running through many simulations back to their base to take down Wolverine, their plans were not as effective as he had believed. Wolverine was far more difficult to contain, and while Cyclops and Magneto tried holding the berserk Wolverine, Emma Frost, Storm, Jubilee, Rogue, Nightcrawler, and Kitty Pryde helped Wolverine fight the demons in his mind. Finally, Phoenix arrived and freed Wolverine's body from the demons. Following this, Wolverine's revenge began, and the first thing was to find Mystique, who had lured him into the truck. Meanwhile, Lord Deathstrike received a message about his new target, Mystique. Mystique tried contacting Logan and warning him to stop chasing the Red Right Hand, but all that went in vain, as Logan was too engrossed in fury. Eventually, Lord Deathstrike found Mystique and shot her, but Mystique managed to patch up her wounds with duct tape and escaped on her motorcycle. Meanwhile, Logan carried on with his hunt for Mystique and the organization responsible for sending him to hell. He encountered Mystique while she was escaping from Lord Deathstrike and slammed his car into his sanitation truck. Lord Deathstrike was still in pursuit and shot Mystique's bike and made it crash. Logan stabbed Mystique, but she hit him with a grenade. Disguised as a cop, she began shooting Lord Deathstrike. Logan got a hold of Lord Deathstrike and demanded answers. Assessing the situation, the Right Red Hand revealed the location and the fact that they hired Lord Deathstrike. Soon, the message was heard by Maverick, who informed Logan immediately. Logan killed Mystique and left for a house on a beach across the border in Mexico to exact his revenge on the Red Right Hand. The tragic end of the Mongrels. During this time, while Wolverine struggled to get out of hell and regain his body, the Mongrels continued spreading their wrath. With the sole intention of hurting Logan's close ones, they tried killing Maverick, who managed to escape. Following this, they attacked Princess Bar in Madripoor and met Jason Haun, another associate of Wolverine, and asked her to warn Wolverine of their arrival after burning down all of Wolverine's mementos. After killing Mystique, Wolverine headed towards the Red Right Hand headquarters in Mexico. He broke in and encountered one of the Mongrels named Cannonfoot. They battled while the members of the Red Right Hand watched it in horror. Although Cannonfoot delivered a few powerful blows to Wolverine, he was ultimately killed ruthlessly by Wolverine. Following this appeared another member of the Mongrels, Shadowstalker, who knocked Wolverine into the adjacent room. The room was filled with objects from Wolverine's past. Wolverine was shocked, but there was not much time to reflect as Shadowstalker continued attacking him. They continued battling until Wolverine killed Shadowstalker as well. Next appeared Sawfist and Fire Knives of the Mongrels to take down Wolverine, but the fight ended quickly quickly, with Wolverine killing both of them easily. Meanwhile, while witnessing Wolverine's fights with the Mongrels on the screen, a man named Roger lost his calm and stated that Wolverine should know the identities of the Mongrels, to which the founder denied. In a fit of rage, Roger tried attacking the founder with a baseball bat, but only to be killed by Gunhawk. Moving according to the plan, the last Mongrel, Gunhawk, was next. Wolverine took no time in defeating and killing Gunhawk, and finally moved towards the room of the Red Right Hand members. When Wolverine entered the room, he found all the members of the Right Red Hand dead. It seemed everyone drank poison before Wolverine entered the room. Suddenly, the screen displayed a message from the old man who revealed their true objectives. There was a folder on the table with details of every member of the Mongrels. Wolverine finally realized that he had been made to kill his own children by the Right Red Hand. The old man continued speaking about the people Wolverine had killed and how their loved ones must have felt. He concluded by stating that Wolverine, after killing his own children, should now realize how it feels to lose someone close. The entire event was enough to damage Wolverine from within, and he left the facility shrouded with pain, guilt, and agony. The 5 Mongrels. The Mongrels consisted of 5 mercenaries, all having a common father, Wolverine. They resulted from Wolverine's several romantic relationships in his long life, and were united by Daken for the sole purpose of exacting revenge on Wolverine. The members of the Mongrels were 1. Gunhawk. William Downing, who later became Gunhawk, was the son of Wolverine and a Canadian woman named Dolores Downing, who took adequate care of him until she died of old age. He was founded by his half-brother Daken, who took him to the Red Right Hand. There, he received training and eventually took on the name Gunhawk. He was the leader of the Mongrels. Although Gunhawk was an offspring of Wolverine, he possessed no extraordinary power. He was a trained mercenary and an excellent hand-to-hand combatant. He was also an expert strategist, and hence took decisions for the team. 2. Cannonfoot. Not much is known about Cannonfoot, except that he was also a son of Wolverine. His mother's name was not revealed, and like Gunhawk, he too was assembled by Daken and sent to the Red Right Hand. He took the name Cannonfoot because he could kick rocks like cannons. Due to his increased size and mutation, Cannonfoot possessed strength far superior to any normal man. Like his father, Wolverine, he had a superhuman sense of smell, sight, and hearing. He also possessed superhuman speed, stamina, agility, and reflexes. Cannonfoot's toes had retractable razor-sharp claws, which could easily tear through flesh, wood, bone, stone, and a few varieties of metals. 3. Shadowstalker. Shadowstalker was also an offspring of Wolverine, and a woman whose name was unknown. Not much is known about her past, except for the fact that she was also recruited by Daken and later sent to the Red Right Hand. Shadowstalker did not possess any superhuman ability, but was known for being an excellent martial artist and a skilled hand-to-hand combatant. Shadowstalker had 2 spiked balls attached to her hair, which she used as a weapon. She also wore gloves laced with tiny spikes. 4. Sawfist. Sawfist was born to a Mexican woman, and her name was also not revealed. Barely anything is known about her past except she was also a member of the Red Right Hand after Daken found her. It seemed like it was a result of Wolverine's illegitimate affairs. Sawfist did not possess any superhuman ability, and was known for being a mercenary with a chainsaw attached to his right wrist gauntlet. 5. Fire Knives. Not much is known about the past of Fire Knives, and she was introduced to the comics as a mercenary with excellent martial arts skills. As the name suggests, Fire Knives was equipped with flaming knives, her weapon of choice. Marvelous verdict. So finally, we've come to the end of today's video, and we hope you've enjoyed it. The events associated with the Mongrels and the Red Right Hand were indeed one of the most tragic moments in Wolverine's long life. It's not that Wolverine never cared for the women he was associated with. He was too detached from regular life, fighting hideous villains and, most importantly, against himself. The Red Right Hand wanted Wolverine to feel the loss of his own children, and they did manage to orchestrate their master plan effectively. For Wolverine, it can be inferred that his reckless killings might make him victorious in hell, but in real life, it has a price. Had Wolverine inquired further before relying on his undying rage, things would have been different. And if you liked our content, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to us if you haven't already. Have a good one and be safe. Thanks everyone.